Alright, well, today we're going to wax the traps. Yesterday when I dyed them, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I am not a trapper. I am new to this, and obviously I haven't done this before. So what I did was I went ahead and dyed my traps before I basically degreased them, got the oil off of them. You're supposed to boil them with nothing, or maybe even some detergent to cut the oil out for an hour or so, then let them dry, get some rust on them, then come in and dye them. Well, I just straight out dyed them, figured boiling them, get the oil off. They seem to turn out okay, and honestly I don't think it's going to make a bit of difference. They got a good dark color to them. They'll rust up here anyway, and then I'll hit them probably before next season with another dye, and that'll probably really set in a good dye to them. So anyway, what I've got going on right here, I saw another guy do this, and I'm just going to do it the same way. He actually just used the same water with his dye in it, and then just put the wax in it, and it sits up on top. So I'm going to throw them in, let them heat up to where the metal is nice and hot, and then you just pull them out and go hang them up, and that'll put a nice thin coat of wax on it. So that's my next step. We're going to go ahead and do that here in just a minute. Alright, so here's my pot with the dye in the bottom and the wax on top. You can really see that there's about probably 3/4 of an inch layer of wax on top of it. Might be hard to see there, but you can kind of see where it's bubbling from below up to the top. That is the difference between the water and the wax. I think we're just about ready here. Alright, I'm just going to grab a trap and drop it down in here. I'm going to go ahead and just do the whole thing. I don't think you really need to do the chain or your anchor, but I think it's just going to be easier. So I'm just going to drop it down in here. You want to make sure it's completely covered with the water so that the whole thing will get nice and hot. You got to get that metal hot so that when you pull it through the wax, it sticks to it nice and deep. I think if the metal's cold, it just basically crusts the outside and it just wants to flake off. Like if I just put this down in the wax and bring it right back out, basically you can just see it's like white, and that'll just flake right off. So you kind of want it to penetrate into the metal a little bit, at least the best it can. So we're going to let that heat up for 30-40 seconds. Just you want to make sure that the metal's nice and hot, and then when you pull it out nice and slow, and then put it on a hanger. Metal's nice and hot. I'm just going to lift it nice and slow out of there. I'll let it drip. It's kind of messy. You get wax everywhere, so. Alright. I'm just going to grab one of these makeshift hangers. Just something I came up with here to support them. Alright, now we're on to the next one. Oops. I want to be careful there, not to splash it up on you. And one thing that I'm doing is, once it comes out of here, I'm handling them with my trap setting gloves. So Basically from this point forward, I'm only handling them with these gloves, not bare hands, not with the gloves that I'm going to use with my scents, things like that. So I don't know, you know, it just all, you hear it 100 different ways. Some people say your scent don't matter. Some people say 24, 48 hours it's gone. And some people say, you know, they just won't even look at it if your scent's anywhere near it. So error on the side of caution, I suppose, and the longer I get doing this, the more and more I'll figure out about it. Okay, one other chore I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of wax on this. I don't know if it needs it, but it's exposed metal, kind of help keep it from rusting. Like I did last night, I went ahead and dyed it. So now I'm just going to submerge it in there. Hopefully this works. I kind of got to do it in 2 stages. I'm going to have to flip it. Hopefully that'll work, but if not, no biggie. Can't hurt it. Okay, well, that pretty well concludes trap prep. I'm going to let these air out for a couple of days before I get them out there on the line, and I'll come back and give you an update of how everything's going.